Right. Hello and welcome. My name is Karen Caldwell. I am the owner and nutrition coach here at B3 Gym. Thank you so much for joining me for this month's free virtual nutrition talk. If you do have any questions, please type them in the chat. Send us an email, follow up, whatever. We're happy to answer any questions that you have about our content for today. If you do have the workbook downloaded, make sure you are taking notes as we go along. I'm super excited to get this presentation started. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Cool. And let's go ahead and talk about 5 tips to make healthy meals on a budget. All right, so here at B3 Gym, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition should not be complicated, which is why we focus on a simple, habit-based approach to help you reach your short and long-term goals and feel the way that you deserve. Our nutrition program is backed by Healthy Steps Nutrition, who has helped over 40,000 people all around the world take control of their health. Here are a few of our very own incredible success stories from our members here at B3 Gym. And while our approach is simple, it's not always easy, but we can help you take a holistic approach to your health and wellness. We keep you feeling motivated, encouraged, and supported with the right resources to navigate any barrier or life event. In 2020, the USDA reported that just over 10% of all households in the United States were considered food insecure. That's about 38.3 million people in food insecure homes. Studies have found that people who are food insecure, including both adults and children, will have an increased risk for obesity and other chronic diseases, as well as having a negative impact on their mental well-being. This is why we want to take the time today to share easy tips for making healthy meals on a budget. Did you know that frequent meals away from home are associated with lower quality diets and higher self-reported food expenditure? While knowing that eating away from home comes with a higher calorie consumption with higher amounts of saturated fat and sodium and less fiber and calcium is helpful, it does not take into account that many barriers that we see stopping people from cooking from home. Some of the most common barriers we see are lack of time, lack of confidence in nutrition knowledge and cooking skills, and the idea that cooking at home is too expensive. So today we're going to share those 5 tips to make it a little bit easier and more accessible. Tip number 1 is going to be to buy whole foods, not food products. So as we mentioned, processed foods purchased away from home are higher in calories and things that we want to limit, such as saturated fat and sodium, while it's lower in our healthy fruits and vegetables, fiber, vital minerals, and vitamins. Buying whole foods provides our body with important nutrients and keeps us satisfied and fueled for longer. Processed foods in the form of carry-out or convenient grabs from the grocery store, often found in the middle aisles, have low nutritional value and are linked with chronic diseases such as obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease risk, and more. So what do we mean by whole foods versus processed foods? Whole foods are what you're going to see on the left side of the screen. They're foods that are unrefined or unprocessed. These foods are close to their natural form. They often don't come with a nutrition label. Packaged foods are what you're going to see on the right side of the screen. These foods are processed with many ingredients, and that's what makes it what you see when you go to the grocery store. These can typically be found in the middle of the store or right near the checkout and will actually contain a nutrition label. So I also mentioned that whole foods will keep you feeling fuller for longer, and let's dive in more to that. As you can see here, we have an apple, one medium apple, about 182 grams. We also have that as 95 calories, okay? And then we look at the donut, which is 49 grams, or about 74% less volume. And the donut's gonna provide you with 190 calories. So if we look at whole foods are often going to provide you with more food or more volume of food versus the processed food, which is one reason why whole foods will keep you feeling full for longer. It's more food. We also look at the satiety index of our food. Satiety is a term used to explain the feeling of fullness and loss of appetite that happens after eating. So an apple has an index of 197%, while a donut has an index of only 68%. This tells us that an apple is going to keep us feeling fuller for longer, also has less calories. Why not eat that? Tip number 2 is going to be to shop in season and watch for sales. One of the barriers we mentioned, including the idea that cooking at home and buying fresh produce is too expensive. A study using National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey data found that a family who eats out less than 3 times a week had a total food cost of about $261 per month, versus a family who eats out 6 or more times a week had a total food cost of $364 a month. While at-home food costs were not significantly different between the two groups, the amount of money spent away from the home on food went from only $64 to $171 a month. So current research also shows the contribution of away from home foods to total calories has been increasing. So that being said, people that are eating more at home are not only saving money, but they're also saving calories. The best way to get the most bang for your buck is by shopping in season and watching for sales. Utilize seasonal local produce, as they're both cost effective and packed with nutritious antioxidants. Another great way to stay on top of the most value is by looking over your weekly grocery ad for any specials or sales as you write your grocery list. Tip number 3, make it from scratch. Another great way to get the most bang for your buck is by making items at home from scratch. Purchasing ready-to-eat foods are more costly than purchasing the whole food ingredients to make them at home. Some items you can save money on and increase your nutritional profile of our homemade smoothies, dressings, marinade, sauces, and even soups. A lot of those in the store that are already made have a lot of extra added sugars in them. Lastly, the freezer is your friend when shopping in season to allow for more variety throughout the year. When you buy produce in season, it would be a great deal to buy in bulk when possible to cut down on the cost and freeze the extras for later time. Here are some tips when freezing your produce. First, we want to wash and dry your fruits and vegetables, and then you want to cut, slice, and peel. You're going to get them prepared in the way that you're going to eat them. Then you can think about blanching them. Blanching is going to allow us to seal in the flavor and nutrients during the freezing process. You're going to freeze your fruits and vegetables in an airtight, freezer-safe bag or storage. And then when you're ready, you can use those frozen produce for soups or sauces or smoothies and more. If you're still not bought into the fact that making it from scratch is the way to go, let's break down the popular Naked brand smoothies. We found that to make a green smoothie at home was about 12 cents per ounce. The Green Machine Naked smoothie from Target is sold for $2.79 or 18 cents per ounce. Not only is it a little bit cheaper to make it at home, but it's also lower in sugar and calories, and it also has a little bit more fiber. So you have a little bit more control over what's going into your food when you're making it from scratch. Tip number 4 is going to be to meal prep and cook in bulk. So taking the time to meal prep and cook in bulk is a great way to save your wallet and keep your nutrition on track. One way to stay organized and stay accountable to portion sizes is investing in a three compartment container, as well as any food preps tool staples such as a crock pot or Instapot and a muffin tin. In order to meal prep for success, you should first take the time to plan out your meals using the weekly sale ads. Sometimes coming up with cost-effective meals can be hard, so check out these 5 easy meals, all under $5. Another way to get the most bang for your buck is by finding different ways to use the same ingredient. By doing this, you'll be able to buy in bulk, saving you money. Especially if you live alone, this is going to be a great way to go. This is also a great way to minimize burnout of the same food by keeping it fresh and interesting. So let's go over an example here. You buy ground turkey in bulk, and then you use that ground turkey in multiple different recipes. Let's say you have egg roll in a bowl on Monday, we have turkey burgers on Tuesday, meatloaf muffins on Wednesday, etc. You can even use those leftovers for lunches as well. Be sure to check out some of these recipes on our website and look at how you can make them work for you. Any leftover vegetables that maybe only have a day or 2 left before going bad, you can mix in with those meatloaf muffins and reduce food waste. Tip number 5, speaking of, our last tip is going to be to reduce food waste. Food waste is a huge issue, causing us to throw away money. The last tip to help you make those healthy meals on a budget is to minimize your food waste. Taking the time to plan out your weekly meals is a great first step. Take inventory of what you already have, which foods are priority. Let's say something that's about to go bad, you're going to cook that sooner. And be sure to write out the things that you need for the week to make sure you don't have to make those unnecessary trips out to the grocery store. So is food waste really a problem? The answer is yes. The United Nations report released on Thursday, March 4th, 2021, estimates 17% of food produced globally each year is wasted. That's about 931 million tons of food. If you think about the amount of food that you may have tossed out in the last month, how much money, especially with the increased prices of food, do you think you wasted? What if you save that money by spending a few extra minutes to plan out your meals for the week? Remember, the freezer tips we discussed earlier will further help you preserve food to reduce waste. So maybe you're sitting here getting excited about some of the budget-friendly meals and tips, but you're also maybe thinking, how else can I reach those health and wellness goals? With all of the information out there, we know it can feel really overwhelming. So to start building your foundation, here are a few important principles that have helped so many people take control of their health, one habit at a time. First one is going to be to add more whole foods into your diet. And the easiest way to take control of that is by choosing whole food options, less processed foods that are packed with sodium, fat, and sugar. Reshaping your plate with the plate method is an easy first step. We want to get half of our plate a non-starchy vegetable, a quarter of our plate lean protein, a quarter of our plate starchy carbohydrates, and a mindful amount of healthy fat. Number 2, we're going to focus on balance. And when we say balance, we mean, does every meal and snack that you're eating throughout the day contain a carb, a protein, and a fat? We want to pair each meal and snack with all 3 macronutrients. That's going to help you feel full for longer. Tip number 3 is going to be to limit the amount of added sugar in your diet. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons for women and 9 for men. Be mindful of many food products that you find in packages, as they can contain lots of additional added sneaky sugars. Now we're going to answer a couple of our frequently asked questions. What do you eat around your workout? So fueling around your workout to gain muscle, lose fat, increase energy, really any other health and fitness goal is important. We want to aim to have a healthy carbohydrate and protein before and after our workout. If you don't put gas in your car, you're not going to expect it to go. So we want to make sure that our body also isn't running on empty. What if you don't like vegetables? Maybe you just haven't found the right way that you like them. You can try roasting them for a crunchy texture, adding in some different seasonings. You can even blend them into smoothies or other recipes to kind of sneak them in that way. Where should you start? One thing at a time is our biggest recommendation. Maybe it's something you already have in mind, or one of the things that we talked about today. The best and fastest way to get started is to work one-on-one with a nutrition coach so you can get an individualized plan just for you. There's never going to be a perfect time to get started, and there's always going to be an obstacle or barrier standing in the way. You have to commit to yourself. You have to commit to investing in yourself. All the money that you save using the tips today can be put towards your health and wellness goals. If you're thinking that all of this sounds great, but you don't know where to start, or you just need someone that's going to help you create that plan and keep you accountable, we are here to help. So at B3 Gym, we focus on a habit-based approach to create that individualized plan for you. We work with you to build your nutrition foundation and create a sustainable plan that you can build into your current lifestyle. We know how important support and accountability is when it comes to your long-term goals, which is why we're there every step of the way. You can visit our website or email me directly to schedule a free intro session so we can learn a little bit more about you, about your goals, and talk about how we can help you reach those. So we have our nutrition coaching and accountability program. This month, we're opening up 5 spots. This is what it would look like for you. You work with a coach to create your plan. You check in weekly to keep you accountable to your plan. and we discuss progress. We tweak your plan as we go. So contact us today to learn more about that. If you're looking to hear more about how this program can change your life, tune into the Nutrition Made Simple podcast. There are tons of episodes with helpful tips on a variety of different nutrition and health topics. So today we discussed how to eat healthy on a budget. This includes buying whole foods, shopping in season, making your meals or recipes from scratch, prepping in bulk, and minimizing food waste. So moving from here, we'll have another nutrition talk coming up next month. If you do have any questions about anything that we went over today, you can send us a message. If you're ready to get started with our nutrition coaching program, you can scan the QR code from your workbook. We're happy to help. Follow us on social media. We post a ton of free nutrition content on there to help you out. And again, if you need anything, please reach out and let me know. Thank you so much for joining me.